When was the last time that your financial institution paid you for banking with them? This video, we're going to be breaking down CDs and are they really worth it, guys? Now, overall, looking probably a year and a half ago, CDs, unfortunately, were not worth it at all. They were paying on a 5-year CD roughly a 0.6%. That is right, guys, less than 1% on a 5-year CD, which is just absolutely horrendous. When you look at a stock market return of 6, 8, 10%, doing pretty well. But now looking at the feds that have continued to raise interest rates for going on a year and a half. Now CDs have gotten to the point where they could be a viable option for a lot of people. We're going to break through what is a certificate of deposit or a CD. It is a certain amount that they're willing to pay you over a certain amount of time. For instance, a majority of traditional banks will have a 6-month, a 12-month, let's say a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year CD is very traditional. Now, what you'll find is that a majority of banks are not really paying much for CDs because they are not beneficial to have funds on deposit. A lot of them come from business deposits. A lot of them come from larger institutions. But when it comes to credit unions, when it comes to our fintechs, when it comes to online digital banks, most of them will pay an extraordinary and a high percentage to have those CDs with you. Now, what types of CDs do we have, guys? We have traditional CDs. Again, these are the set term deposit, fixed rate, fixed term. So if you're putting $10,000 into a CD, they're going to pay you, let's say 3% currently over the next 12 months. That is a traditional CD. Now, jumbo CDs come into play when you have $100,000 or more. Some institutions do jumbo CDs, some do not. However, a lot of them do not pay a higher rate for a jumbo CD, which is kind of weird to see. Now, callable CDs is another one where if interest rates continue to increase, the financial institution actually has the ability to pull the CD back, which means in a rate environment that we start seeing decreasing rates, the financial institution no longer wants to pay on those CDs, so they can actually pull them all back. Now, raise your rate or bump CDs. A lot of the longer term CDs do offer bump rate options, which means usually one time during that life of the CD, you can increase the rate to the new current rate, which is a very cool addition. Now, add-on CDs are another thing that we see. Some of those do come with a little bit of a lesser rate because it is not guaranteed, but add-on CDs, once you put in your initial $10,000 deposit, you can continue making deposits into that CD or adding on additional funds into that CD. Now, there are brokered CDs, there are no penalty CDs, but those are very specialized for when you're looking to invest in CDs. And again, a lot of places, financial institutions do not offer those CDs. So some of the pros and cons of CDs, guys. Pro number one, better rates. Depending where the CD is, even currently at the credit union, we have an 11-month CD, which is paying 5.4%. Now, a lot of people do look at the stock market. You're getting 6, 7, 10, possibly even more percentage. However, the big thing to remember, guys, is the safety and protection that CDs offer. They are federally insured through the FDIC or they are federally insured through the NCUA, depending on the financial institution. If it is a bank or a credit union, it is guaranteed, meaning that if the bank goes up, if the credit union fails, you are going to get your money back. If the stock market drops 20%, guess what? You're still getting the 5.4% from that CD. That is the reason why a lot of individuals, when they start getting closer to retirement, look for safer investments such as CDs, safer investments such as bonds. Now, guaranteed return, this is the big one, guys. If you look last year in the stock market, we were negative about 20%. If you had your money just placed in a CD, you were guaranteed to get the rate of return that the CD was paying, regardless of what the stock market does, regardless of what the cryptocurrency market is kind of going crazy. You are guaranteed an amount. Now, with this, guys, a lot of people do set CD ladders. So this is kind of a point that I wanted to explain a little bit further. CD ladders, you actually buy, let's say you have $50,000. You buy 5 CDs. That is right, guys. We are buying 5 CDs with our $50,000. Each one of those CDs are going to be for 12 months in kind of a 12-month term. So what I'm saying is the first CD is going to be a 12-month term. Second CD, we're looking at a 2-year term. So two years, so 2 12-month terms. Third CD, you're going for 3 years, so on and so forth. You're doing a 4-year CD, a 5-year CD. Now, the CD laddering traditionally has been a very, very viable option because, and again, speaking traditionally, 5-year CDs were paying more than 2-year CDs. 3-year CDs were paying more than 1-year CDs. Now, because of the interest rates, the interest rate environment, short-term money is paying much higher than long-term money. Again, thinking of the credit union that I'm at, an 11-month CD is paying 5.4%. We also do have a 9-month CD, which is paying 5%. So you can see short-term money, 9 months, 5%, pretty good. When you go out to a 5-year CD, it pays 4%. That is right, guys. You're losing a full percent for going for a longer term. And this is kind of the opposite of what we've seen with CD ladders, because it traditionally, like I was saying, a longer term CD would pay more money. But as of right now, guys, we know short-term money is paying a lot more. So what are some of the penalties or some of the cons for CDs? Number one, the early withdrawal penalty. That is right, guys. If you're taking a CD out for 12 months and you remove the funds before that 12-month period, some of them have considerable penalties, including 3, possibly 6 months of interest that you are forfeiting, which means it could affect your principal balance. Again, if I put 10,000 into a CD, 1 month later I pull it out and they're charging me 3 months of interest, I am effectively going to lose 2 months of interest off of that $10,000 that I put in there. So my principal is not guaranteed. It is going to go below that $10,000 that I had. Now, a lot of CDs also do carry minimum deposits to get higher yield CDs. Some of them have a $10,000 mark. Even some CDs, some have jumbo rates, which start at that $100,000 minimum deposit to get the CD. Also, when you look at financial institutions, especially a lot around here, guys, there are a lot which will give you a good rate on a CD if you do a checking account, if you have direct deposit, if you do debit card transactions, if you do this, if you do that. It's like a carnival and a circus, the amount of things that you have to jump through just to get the CD rate that you're looking for. And if you miss any of those things, you're not going to get the rate that you were really looking for. Now, by nature, guys, CDs are less liquid, which means, again, this is the reason why the penalty holding them till full maturity, similar to like bonds, the government issued bonds, it does lock it up and it is less liquid, meaning there is going to be a penalty for a majority of CDs if you are taking the money out early. Now, this is kind of different than a savings account. Savings account, you can actually take out the money whenever you want, which means you have full access to the funds, where in a CD, the con is you do not have full access to that funds. And then, of course, the final one and the big one, guys, is inflation. The rising inflation can shrink the purchasing power of a CD. So what this means, again, if you're doing a 12-month CD at 5%, inflation's running at 7%, keeping your money in that CD, you are essentially losing money. Even though you're getting monthly dividends, you're getting quarterly dividends, annual dividends, whatever it may be, you are still losing money due to inflation. A lot of people with the value cost of money, you have to keep inflation in mind when it comes to really building it out. So is a CD worth it, guys? Absolutely, depending on your scenario. If you're 20s, 30s, CDs are probably not the best option because you have an incredible amount of time to put money into the stock market. But if you are getting to retirement, probably 50 plus, CDs could be a viable option, especially if you're looking to put away some of that emergency fund money. High yield savings accounts, CDs, definitely worth it if you're looking for it. All right, guys, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about CDs. Also, let me know what rates they're paying in your area, and I'll catch you in the next video.